All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business today. See if we see that it has BSS, aka boudoir search sameness, with these two Google searches here. So back in the GBC universe, we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. Yeah, more on that pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And this is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we get the highest intent people over on the left. We got our white FSIC kind of graph there. Highest intent people searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city and social search, so searching on social media and on Google. And that's what we focus on here, BSS. That's what our videos here about, the highest intent peeps. Then way over on the right, we got our sister brand, the lowest intent people, and I would say people that they ain't searching for a boudoir photo shoot right now. And basically all of them don't even know what boudoir is. I got to reach them through interruption ads, Facebook and Instagram. And we are, that's our sister brand. We talk about BLCS over there. The name is Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ad spend. All right, so now to BSS. It's boudoir search sameness. We don't want to have this, but this is what kind of a diagnosis that a lot of people do have. And it means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0, can't have that. We're dying a quick death if we got 0. That means we're on page 2 and deeper. The reason that's so bad is we know we have the data. Approximately 80% of all Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're visible to approximately 80% of the market. We're dying a fast death. Now, 1 slot on page 1 Google is also not good enough. We're there. There's 9 other slots. So probably 1 other boudoir photographer per slot. So what's a buyer? We don't stand out. We don't look different. We don't look unique. So what's a buyer going to do? They're clicking open every single link, every single website, submitting every single contact form, and they are price shopping us, getting the best deal. Our margins being destroyed, and 1 slot on page 1 Google, that's dying a slow death. So we do not want either of these scenarios. And 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Everyone accepts it's normal, everyone accepts it's common, but it's not normal. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search in only 10 days. So I know that's not normal. I mean, something's broken. The foundation is broken. Now, these 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which everyone knows about. Some people get new gear, new iPhone, new camera. They're on their Google Maps profile. They're creating a website saying they shoot boudoir, competing with us for page 1. They are, they're posting them on Facebook groups at the now for boudoir. So everyone knows that's just kind of natural over time. More boudoir photographers, same number of buyers per city makes it a little bit harder every single day for each boudoir photographer to get clients. Now this new one is the false belief of page 1 equality. A lot of boudoir photographers seems to have always have accepted that. It seems like every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And yeah, I was slot 8 on page 1. That's some new boudoir photographers enter the market. Now I'm page 2. And it's like, well, that's simply how it is. Hopefully they delete their website and Google stops indexing them, so maybe I can get back on page 1. But no, this is 100% incorrect thinking. This is a false belief. What it is actually true is Google will give as many page 1 slots to whoever wants to put in the effort to acquire them. And again, I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 in Google in only 10 days. So this false belief page 1 equality really holds. Actually, it's the #1 killer with boudoir photography businesses that I've seen. So it really holds boudoir photographers back. Now we're able to break through it. Next, another boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Yeah, I mean, look, dude, if we're on, if we got 0 slots on page 1, then we're on page 2 or deeper. Approximately 80% of the market's never even seen us. We're disappearing a fast death, or we're dying a fast death. And if we got 1 slot on page 1, we look the same as everyone else. We're dying a slow death. In both cases, being a disappearing boudoir photographer is actually it is actually a precursor, kind of a warning signal to our boudoir photography business will eventually disappear as well. That it's a signal that we're going down that path. But luckily, we now have a solution. We have discovered through rigorous testing that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. Works exactly that as it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest boudoir buyer intent keywords. So we show up there for those searches. And doing this kind of like the backside of the Andes Mountains, where the snow on top melts into small streams, small rivers. That's social search saturation. And then it all flows into the large Amazon River. And that's page one of Google search. But we got to do the right stuff, saturate social search first to have any chance of being page one of Google search and like having a ton of links there. Now, this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually they can actually successfully compete against market saturation and still allow boudoir photography business to grow in relatively fast time, where the only other option is having a large, well-known brand. But that doesn't satisfy the relatively fast time requirement because that takes minimum 5 to 10 years. And actually, S-cubed methodology is one of the things I've seen is I believe it can increase the speed of actually achieving a large, well-known brand by my estimate is 8x. So that imagine, using this, having the large, well-known brand, but still utilizing S-cubed methodology, basically be unbeatable. So here's an example here of successfully fighting against market saturation. Let's say we're in San Francisco. There's a million boudoir photographers. We're one of them. Everyone's got their website, saying they shoot boudoir. So everyone's trying to compete page one on Google. And as a result, like, dude, this competition is insane. We got to crank S-cubed methodology up to the max to have any shot at competing in this marketplace. So we do that. And let's say we do it for all the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords across social search. And so what we do is, let's say we're able to take up the first 300 slots for all the highest intent keywords across all social search. As a result, that flows on to Google. And let's say that gives us, the first 300 slots on Google as well. And there's 10 organic slots per page on Google. So we're taking up the first 30 pages. And we already know approximately 80% of buyers ain't even ever hitting page 2. So, they'd have to essentially go to page 31 to find our competitors. So basically anywhere any boudoir buyer looks, social search or Google search, dude, we're the only ones there. And basically the only ones they can find unless they put in a lot of effort to scroll a lot more pages. And so whose business will be growing? Most likely ours. Whose business will be shrinking? Most likely all the 999,999 other competitors. So again, this is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to have a chance to still grow in the face of more and more market saturation. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, we have page one visibility. Initial benefit, we get more slots on Google page one. We get another second initial benefit, which is every time we get a new link on page one, we are kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. This is an awesome benefit because we know page two and deeper, approximately 80% of buyers are never going to find them. We turn them into disappearing boudoir photographers, and eventually they exit the market, and we're no longer price shopped against them. And for approximately 80% of buyers, we're actually stopping price shopped against them because they'll never even go past page one to find these people that we got on page two and deeper. And page one visibility actually is boudoir search visibility for us. So this is where the GBC universe recommends hitting the recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one on Google. That's because we're going to dominate, look way better than everyone that's got a 1 slot, which will be basically anyone. And in the very, very rare case someone has 2 slots, our 3 slots will still dominate them as well. Now, we also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. Thankfully, thank the universe, we now have a solution, S-cubed methodology, which allows us to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now, my results using S-cubed methodology. So I actually wanted to rank for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate page one on Google. I started with 0 out of 10 slots on page one on Google. And I exclusively ran S-cubed methodology. And let's see my results. So here we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So anyone looking for this, so I went from 0 out of 10 slots to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. And did anyone searching this term? Obviously, I'm going to be the one they're clicking on. I mean, come on. So these are the results I got utilizing S-cubed methodology for myself. So now we're going to look at this boudoir photography business. Going to check. So all this is based on the Google page 1 searches here. So we got these 2 Google searches. Let's check these out. So first one, we got boudoir photographer. Is that the first one? No, St. I think. Oh no, St. Augustine should be the first one. I got to do St. Augustine here. Boudoir photography, St. Augustine. St. Augustine. And there we go. All right. So let's see what we got here. Look for a supernova. There we go. So we got they got 1 slot. And all right, we got 2 slots here. Wedding wire. Yeah. We do not have BSS, so we got 2 slots here. That's fine. That's good. We perfect. Now we've not hit the GBC minimum. We want to have 3 out of 10 here, but hey, we do not have BSS for the search, so that's good. Now we want to hit the GBC 3 out of 10 minimum because that's kind of the only safe time we can say, hey, we're not going to disappear, we're not going to decline. We may not grow, but we'll probably at least tread water. So no BSS, but we're not hitting the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 here. Let's check our Jacksonville, Florida. All right, so still looking for the same supernova. So we got 1. And nope. All right, none of these are specifically about us only. We got 1 out of 10. So we got BSS for the second search at Jacksonville, Florida. Bigger city. So BSS is more common in the bigger cities, obviously, more keyword competition. So we do not have BSS for St. Augustine, Florida. That's good, but we did not meet the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. But we do have BSS for the Jacksonville, Florida search, and we also did not hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer and you did your local search for yourself and your city search for yourself, and you're saying you have BSS, boudoir search sameness, and or you have not reached the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots on page 1, and you now understand and you've accepted that page 1 equality is a false belief, that boudoir photographers is not given 0, 1 slots on page 1. They can actually take, and Google will give them as many page 1 slots as they want to put in the effort for. And you see the S-cubed methodology is the only way to get you there. And you understand the market saturation? Yeah, people get phones. Yeah, more boudoir photographers over time. People get cameras. Yep, more boudoir photographers over time. And you're actually thinking ahead. You're seeing AI taking people's jobs, which is actually going to force more people into the marketplace as boudoir photographers. So it's going to saturate the market more and more because why? Everyone's got an amazing camera on their smartphone. So that'll be the easiest thing for people to become, or to throw up their Google business profile or offer in the marketplace on the mom groups in a boudoir photographer. And as a result, we actually, so you've actually decided you want to fortify your positions, kind of like levees in New Orleans, kind of keeping the ocean water out because New Orleans is below sea level. So you decided you want to fortify your position in preparation of all the increasing new boudoir photographers going to be coming into the market because of AI taking people's jobs. And you also want to kick out current competitors from page 1, which you can see S-cubed methodology can help with both, and kind of establish your current position more and fortify your position more against the future boudoir photographers that are inevitably going to be entering the market. And You're seeing S-cubed methodology is the only path to get you there. You want to achieve page one visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer. You want to have boudoir search visibility because you know you need it on your path to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also want the extra back-end benefits of doing all this, S-cubed methodology every single day. What it actually does is it creates thematic keyword columns around your name, around your brand, around your business's name. And what building these invisible thematic keyword columns do attached to your brand, your business, they actually increase the probability you get recommended here AI overview, the most premium slot on the page, where many times it'll only be recommend one boudoir photographer in the AI overview. And so you've actually decided, you see kind of these back-end benefits of execute methodology as well, which is increase in probability AI overview recommends us every time, every day execute methodology is executed. It increases that probability. And on, on also the second back-end benefit is all the AI search apps, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, all those searches when someone's searching, boudoir photographer in my city, as we utilize SQL methodology to build up these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our brand, higher probability we get recommended by the AI search. And this just increases over time the more we execute SQL methodology. And right now, Google is still approximately 90% of global search, but AI search increases every single day. I mean, I don't think I've used Google search to actually click on links and read stuff in like a year. But I use Google AI mode. Click the tab all the time. I don't want to click through things to read it. Simply give me the summary. And last time I used AI search, I used ChatGPT search to find some boudoir photographers in the city or recommend some, and it gave me 3. But dude, the city had like 60. Like when I owned to manually look. So a higher chance we get recommended in those. And also you understand kind of more you build up these invisible thematic keywords associated to your brand, your profiles, and all that, which only SQL methodology can deliver, that the more momentum you're building and the larger space you're building between you and your competitors that are behind you or competitors in the city. Because right now my plan is to only operate with one boudoir photographer in the city, which means, dude, we'll begin massive progress or, kind of massive distance between us and your competitors. And you realize if your competitor instead went with me, you would have to rederive SQL methodology all on your own and then go out and execute it. You probably wouldn't be confident executing it because you wouldn't know if you derived and are even using the methodology correctly. But then you'd have to go out execute me and your competitor. But actually, you'd have to equal our execution to simply maintain our gap, the gap that we got ahead of you with. And you'd actually have to actually double or triple our output to, catch up and overtake our gap and overtake the progress we've already made, steal back the momentum, the invisible thematic keyword columns that we had been working to attach to their brand. You'd have to overcome that all on your own and kind of rederive the whole system from the jump. So you decide, screw that. It's better to simply be the first mover here, seal off anyone else, any other competitor in your city from using this strategy. And you decide SQL methodology is the path that you want to go down. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. My DMs are currently closed. The hospital is not currently taking new patients. But as when I do open up for new patient intake, shoot me a DM and we'll see if you qualify for using S-cubed methodology.